Hey guys, this video is all about how to grow and care for the gladiolus. See, I am going to cover everything from planting the corms, and at the end of the video you are going to see lots of blooms, and this way you are going to learn everything about caring for your gladiolus in a single video. As you can see, these are the gladiolus corms which I bought recently, and today I am going to plant all of them. For this part of the video, I am going to use 8 inches of container, but definitely I would need to plant few bulbs in other container too, because I have way too many corms. Anyway, don't worry, you are going to see everything in the same video. You can see that my pot has lots of drainage holes, so I just kept some stones and broken pieces of the clay pot on the drainage hole so that water can drain out well. For the potting soil mix, I am taking 25% of normal garden soil, 25% of vermicompost, 25% of coco peat, and rest 25% of sand. See, I normally don't use coco peat and sand together, but my soil is somewhat clay type, and that's why I am adding both sand and coco peat to the potting soil mix. Whenever you prepare the potting soil mix for any kind of bulbs, please make sure that your soil is extremely well drained, otherwise the bulbs might rot. There is one other element which I have added here, and I am taking 25 grams of bone meal powder. You can ignore it if you like, and if you have it, please use it. And you can use bone meal anytime whenever you plant any kind of bulbs. And this is not only for gladiolus. If you are planting Asiatic lilies or iris or any kind of bulbs, that time you can add the bone meal to the potting soil mix. It's time to plant the bulbs, and you can see that I haven't filled the container fully. While planting them, you might get confused like which way is up and which way is down. It's really very simple. The pointed end is up and the flat part is down. It's just like onion and you should not get confused at all. So it's really very easy. I am going to plant 4 bulbs in this container, but I would say that 3 bulbs would be much better for a 8 inches of container. Planting is really very easy, as you have seen it. There is one other important thing I would like to share with you. See, whenever you buy the bulbs, and again I am saying this is not only for gladiolus, for any kind of bulbs, whenever you buy the bulbs, please always buy only the bigger bulbs, and that way you would be getting more blooms and a healthier plant. Next, I am going to cover them with the same potting soil mix. While covering the bulbs, please make sure that they are at least half inches deep inside the soil, and you don't have to plant them too deep, otherwise they might rot. Planting is done and it's time to water it, but I am not going to water it at this time because you can see that my soil is already a bit wet. But just after planting the corms, please water it heavily, just like this one, and then wait until and unless topsoil is dry. When you see that topsoil is dry, then only water it, and please avoid overwatering at this stage. I mean, before they sprout, please don't overwater, otherwise the bulbs are going to rot. So please be careful. As you can see, all the 4 corms have sprouted nicely, and I just watered my pot yesterday, and for the last few days I haven't watered it. Let me also tell you that my pot was getting near about 2 to 3 hours of direct sunlight, and like I said you earlier that I am going to show you different container, like I am going to grow the gladiolus in different containers too. And right here, this is a very big one, and I am planting 7 bulbs here. Out of 7, already 6 have already sprouted, and hopefully the other one is going to sprout in coming few days. See, at this stage you should be very careful while watering. I planted all the bulbs in this container on the same date, and I haven't watered the container. I haven't watered this container until today. You can also see that topsoil is looking absolutely dry, so you should always wait until and unless topsoil is dry and then only water it heavily. As of now, I am keeping all the containers in my balcony itself, and my balcony gets only the afternoon sunlight, and I would say that they are getting maximum 3 hours of direct sunlight. It's always a good idea to provide morning sunlight to the flowering plants, but if it's not possible, like me, then it's okay even though if you are providing them 3 to 4 hours of direct sunlight, be it either afternoon sunlight or morning sunlight. As you can see, all of them are growing really nicely, and today I am going to fertilize them. Since the size of the container is big, I am going to apply 70 grams of fertilizers. But if you are growing them in small container, let's say 8 inches of container, that time you can apply near about 30 to 50 grams of fertilizers at once. For the fertilizers, I am taking 40 grams of vermicompost, 15 grams of bone meal, 5 grams of superphosphate, 5 grams of NPK 19-19-19 and rest 5 grams of potash. See, my fertilizers has both the slow release fertilizers and fast release fertilizers. All the chemical components whatever I am adding here, they are the fast release fertilizers and rest are the slow release fertilizers. As you can see, roots are already visible on the top surface. So I am going to mix the fertilizers with some fresh garden soil and then add on the top layer. Before fertilizing, I am also going to loosen up the soil a bit. Now I am just applying the fertilizers. And after fertilizing, please don't forget to water it, and please don't fertilize in the middle of the day. You can fertilize either early morning or during the sunset. While talking about watering requirements, please note that Gladiolus doesn't need too much of water, so please wait until and unless topsoil is dry and then only water it. Before the flowering spike appears, your plant may behave something like this, as you can see, and at this time please try to provide it support with a bamboo stick or some other similar items. So guys, this is the final result, from planting to flowering, and I really hope that you are enjoying the blooms at this time. I have already discussed about the most important things like sunlight, watering and fertilizing, but only one thing is remaining, which is protecting your plants from different kind of pest attack. I did not find any kind of major pest issues with my plants. Only thing is, I found somewhat really very tiny insect on the leaves of only one plant, as you can see here, and I just rubbed them off and they just gone away. But if you are getting any kind of pest issues on your plants, that time you can use the neem oil once in 7 to 10 days, and I already have one video where I have shown the entire process, so please watch that video simply clicking on the I button on top right corner. If you did not know, Gladiolus do multiply. The mother bulbs are going to produce the baby bulbs, and if you don't want to dig out the bulbs, simply keep it as it is, water it sometimes so that the soil stay moist, and the baby bulbs are going to sprout again in the spring season. And the best part about the Gladiolus is that they will be blooming well even in summer season. So you just have to plant them once and you are going to get the blooms on a continuous basis, whether it's summer season or it's winter season. And this is really, best thing about the Gladiolus. Okay, here is the last tip. See, if you want to use the Gladiolus as a cut flower, then please cut the spike as soon as you see that first 1 or 2 buds are bloomed. And that way you'll be able to enjoy the blooms for many more days. You can just keep the spike in a glass of water inside your home and just enjoy the blooms for many more coming days. So guys, this is all about how to plant, grow and care for the gladiolus, and if you found the video useful, please don't forget to like it, share it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and many thanks for doing that. And if you have any questions, simply write down below and I would get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for taking your valuable time to watch the video. I truly appreciate it. Have a great day and enjoy.